Welcome to the podcast, Honey, Even Superwoman Needs Therapy. I am your host, JuNene K. This is where we talk about real woman schnit, things that irritate us, things that annoy us, things that uplift us, things that boggle us down, everything, all things, right here, okay? Come on in, honey. The water's just fine. Hey, everybody. Hey, what's going on? What's going down? How is the day? It is Monday, April 5th. Hopefully you got through April Fools without anybody telling you they was pregnant with your baby. Or a pregnancy test coming up positive. Listen, I played that April Fool's joke one time, and the next year I ended up being pregnant. So no to the April Fool's jokes about pregnancy. Anyhow, my mama tells me I'll be too random, so I should get to the point. Anyhow, if you're listening to this, pump on over to YouTube and search for JuNene K. And you will see the visual. If you are visualizing this currently, I'm going to start with the beverage, of course. So this is that margarita I've been talking about, y'all. This is a watermelon cucumber margarita, Flybird. So I have a wine glass this evening. I put a little bit of ice. I'm not an ice person. I drink my stuff straight. Just neat, but for the sake of this margarita, and I'm just going to get a little bit. I love the pour. I am going to pour that now. I'm topping that with a little bit of Grand Marnier. For those of you that want to know the things that I like, put Grand Marnier on the list, boo. And we'll be besties. Grand Marnier. Anything whiskey. And then, of course, Grand Marnier is in a class by itself of liqueur. But I do enjoy my whiskey. So yeah, that is my drink. You always got to get that set up. You got to get that set up before you get going, because you just never know what you're gonna need while you're doing this situation. So, it's just me. I'm solo today. I'm flying solo. Throughout the course of the day, I read a lot of things, and oftentimes I can't wait to talk about it, on the podcast. And today I was reading something about women and what women should know how to do at a certain age and what women shouldn't do. And it was all very interesting to me. I very often get a kick out of somebody else telling someone else what they should or shouldn't do. Much like people that review shows. You can't do it, but you get the opportunity to review the person that's doing it and say how good or how bad it is. Shit trips me out. So I was reading an article, and I think, oddly enough, the article is by a man. What the hell? So you mean to tell me that you have a man that is writing an article about things that a woman should do? I get it. Men have their own perspective, especially in regards to relationship. And we've been talking about that a little bit on the last podcast. We talk about how it's kind of unequal in that regard, how women expect something for nothing. And, men are not able to facilitate that, really. But not all men are able to facilitate that, or not all men want to facilitate that. Women, I'm just going to say this, because I am a woman and I am a colored woman. So I can only speak from the perspective of moi. Okay. We have a lot of cleaning up to do. We have a lot of growing up to do. We have a lot of fessing up to do. And I mean primarily for ourselves, right? Because a lot of times we as women don't know what the fuck it is we supposed to be doing in the first place. We have a general idea, right? We want a man that's he's gonna make 100K a year. We want 2 kids and a cat and a dog and a white picket fence. That was always my little dream situation. We want a nice car. We want a nice job. We want to be respected. We want to be able to say whatever the hell we want when we want to say it. We want people to respect us. We want, you know, all of these things. We run down this list of wants and demands, really. But what are we, and I say we inclusively, because I'm going to put myself in this here thing because we all in this together, women. What are we doing in an effort to secure those things? Like, okay, if you say you want the bag, what are you doing to secure the bag? Laying up in the bed all day is not securing the bag. Asking Jim, Paul, John, Leroy, and Curtis, the designated sugar daddies, is not securing the bag. So I just want to say to the women, we have to start back at the basics. We have to start back at the let's get this right with us kind of thing. And that starts with knowing who you are, whose you are, knowing what your strengths and your weaknesses are, and then operating in those things for you, not for the acquisition of the bag or the boo or the career job or whatever it is, but for you. If you go into the gym, don't go to the gym just so your ass can be tight. So old boy that be looking at you from across the way can be like, oh, she got a tight ass. No, go to the gym for you. Okay. If you are doing whatever it is that you're doing, whatever talent that you're displaying, whatever, everybody's on the Instagram. Let me not say everybody because I don't like to use absolutes. Everybody's on the Instagram, and I use it again, right? And then how we do on the Instagram. And what boggles me down in my brain is that so many people are just on there displaying themselves like, hey, look at me. This is me shopping. This is me in a bikini. This is me. And to me, I'm like, what in the hell do I want to see you for? Shopping or in a bikini? Or what is the purpose of this platform for you? And I use that because I want to put that in something. What is the purpose of life for you? Are you just going through it for entertainment? Are you going through it so that you can show somebody else the way? Are you going through it so that it appears that you have found the way, but you haven't? To convince yourself, to help strengthen yourself. Maybe if you see yourself enough that you'll want to, I don't know, do something different. Whatever it is, whatever concept or idea or purpose or whatever it is that you pull out from the back of yonder, what is it for you? What is your purpose in doing whatever it is that you're doing? I told a couple of friends of mine when I got back on social media, because I've been anti-social media for quite some time, the fake book and all that situation. I could not do it anymore. But for business purposes, it's a wise decision and I had to do it. And I interact with people, but what I realize is I'm on here for a purpose. And 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna just tell you this, the people that are following you are probably not following you for your strengths or your specialties. Like the people that are following you probably don't even know what it is that you do. And you don't even tell them because you're too busy on there in your Speedos or you with your cigar hanging out your mouth or whatever it is that you want to put on display. When will it be time for us to use whatever platform that we have available to us to, one, speak our truth, two, to invite other people to speak their truth, and three, to continue to reinforce the idea of being the best possible version of ourselves. Now, I know this may not be the popular one. This may not be the popular stuff because, when you go to spitting knowledge, especially knowledge that people don't now want to hear, when you go spitting knowledge and such like this here, don't nobody want to listen to it. Don't nobody want to be, let me just say this here. Everybody want to be better January 1st. Here we are in April, and ain't nobody giving two shits about whatever they said on January 1st. Why is that? We meander around here like we got endless years, of life to live and happiness to pursue. Not doing what it is that we purposed in our hearts to do, not actualizing our dreams, our goals, not being a catalyst for change, we're just existing. We're just existing. And I mean, it's all gravy, I guess. If you get that extra 20 years to, continue to exist. Let me go to my list of what this man said that women are supposed to do, because I thought it was very interesting. And I says, well, I kind of want to touch on this here today. Now, why can't I find it? Of course, that's how things go. And it was like that you should do before you turn 30 or something. It's very interesting. And there are things that I agree that a woman should, I try not to use the word should because, you should all over yourself. I try not to use that, but there are things that I believe that women should be able to do. I think whether you are booed up or not, whether you are married or not, whether you got a side piece or not, honey, every woman should know, and this is going to sound funny coming out, but every woman should know how to do something manly. AKA, like, where is the hammer? Can you put together a bookshelf? Can you put together a bookshelf? Do you know that the hammer hits the top of the nail? Do you know what a flat bed screwdriver or a Phillips screwdriver is? Things that are helpful to know, whether you're alone or not. Now, let me just tell you this about, somebody said you should know how to change a tire. Now, I know the general concept of tire changing. Okay. You got to have a jack. You get to take them nuts and them bolts off some kind of way with the little thing that you twist the situation. You got to hike the car. I know what it is, but as for me getting out yonder and doing it, that's a no for me. That's going to go ahead and be a no for me. But what I do know is how to dial the people that can come and do it. So, if you can't do it, it's about being resourceful enough to find the people that can do it. That works. But it's something that you should be able to keep in mind, of things that you kind of should know how to do. So many women in this day and age don't know how to cook. I heard somebody ask, do you have a cookbook? Now, I don't have a cookbook of my own, but I like recipes. I like to collect recipes, not even to do it because I don't follow the shits. I just collect them so I know the general idea of what goes in it, but I don't follow it. Something about Somebody telling me I only need 2 cups or something when I may feel like I want 3. I don't know. That's just the rebel in me. But knowing how to cook, that's something that is not taught like it used to be taught back in the day, back in the gap. And I'm just talking about women. I'm just talking about us getting us together, honey. I'm just talking about us knowing who the hell we are and what position and role we play in society and just being the best possible version of ourselves. That's all I'm talking about. That's all I'm talking about. So 10, 12 things, 9, 11 things going to come in between all of that. But that's what we talking about. Okay. That's the thing. If you want to know what the hell is she talking about, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right yonder. So many women don't know how to cook. Like it used to be like, can you boil an egg? There is a science in boiling an egg. You got to know how long the egg stays in there. Otherwise, you can boil it for a little bit and you get out and it's still the yolk is still running. The yolk, there is yolk inside of an egg for the people that don't know nothing about no egg. But making a nice dinner, being able to bake some chicken. My daughter asked me the other day, could I fry chicken? I said, yeah, I can fry chicken. Now, my mom taught me how to fry chicken. Now, she didn't say, come on in here in the room. Come on in here what do you fry chicken? In the kitchen, living room. Come on in here in the kitchen and let me show you how to fry chicken. No, I observed what she did. I was nearby when she did it. When Thanksgiving came, I knew that my mom was going to stay up all night the night before. So I was there. I was trying to see what she was doing. I was asking questions. I was interested. Not necessarily so that when I got older and I had a man, I could cook and provide and supply for my husband. That's not necessarily it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that for the people that's like, well, what's wrong with that? I'm cooking for your husband. I'm all about that life. Okay. I'm all about that life. Cook for him, honey. They say the fastest way to a man's heart is through his stomach, honey. If you can't cook, then bless the child. I'm all about that. But I'm talking about survival. Like for me, I'm thinking at some point, I'm not going to be here in the house with you. Now I got to learn how to cook my own stuff. It's the willingness to want to learn something different, to want to learn something new, to want to improve who you currently are so you can be a better version of that person. So you can pass that down to your children. So like my daughter, we don't have cooking shows in here, but I guarantee you she know how to boil an egg. I guarantee you she know how to make some noodles, how to bake chicken, how to put some turkey bacon in the oven, how to turn the oven on, what settings the oven should be on, how to make some salmon. Because that's something that I think is important. And that's something that she was willing to learn. Why is it that so many women today are not willing to learn? They know every damn thing, everything regarding relationship, everything regarding success, everything regarding friendship. I cannot stand for somebody. I say something to somebody and they say, yeah, I know. I cannot stand that. Because if you knew, hell, you probably would have told me before I told you. The moment you say you know, that is the very moment that you cease from learning. And I don't know about you, but I want to learn every single day. You know the saying, learn something new every day. You learn something new every day if you're open to learning something new every day. If you've been married for 11 times, there should be some things that you should have learned, that you should now know, that you can now readily apply to this upcoming current relationship, no matter how long this one lasts. Because some of us, we just have an omen. We just have a relationship omen. And that's all right. Because some of us were designed to be by our damn self. We're not relationship compatible. Even though compatible is, we're not relationship compatible. We cannot operate fully with somebody in our damn space because we don't know who the hell we are. So we constantly lash out. We constantly, blame the other person for stuff. We're not relationship compatible. We say we want to be with somebody, but we only want to be with somebody on our terms when it is convenient for us. I want to be with you today because I feel happy today, but tomorrow I'm looking at you with the side eye. So that's why some of us deserve to be single. So in your singleness, at least be better for yourself. At least figure out what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what makes you reflective. What are your strengths? What good are you? What kind of asset are you? Are you an asset or are you a damn liability? Don't nobody need no more damn liabilities. Don't nobody need no more damn liabilities. Are you an asset? I told a friend of mine today, I'm an asset to all my friends. All my friends. At any time, any one of my friends can call me up and say, hey, listen, girl, such and such happened, this, and I'm going to walk them through something. I'm an asset. Okay. Have you done an assessment of your friendships and determined how many of them are assets and how many of them assets is liabilities? Are you giving more than you're receiving? Like, what do your friends need you for? And what do you need your friends for? Because you know, it's a such thing as breaking up with your friends, honey. A sip comes right here. You can break up with your friends. It don't matter if y'all been friends for 20 years. It don't matter if y'all been friends for 2 years. She ain't had to have slept with your man or nothing. It could just have come to a point where you have decided this person is no longer an asset in my life. And I'm going to go ahead on and let you go. Now, when I want to go eat some empanadas, I'm going to call you up because you my girl to eat empanadas with. But you are not my girl to talk about real life trauma with. I'm just saying, do an assessment of your friendships. I'm just talking about being the best possible version of you and getting yourself together before you get all in bed, not physically, but Lord, with these other people in relationships and wanting to be with somebody and wanting to be somebody's body. Sometimes you have to understand, I said this in another podcast. Some relationships are just for bodily exercise, literally. Some relationships are for companionship. You know, I don't want to be alone. You ain't worth a good goddamn, but I tell you, I don't want to be alone. And I'm going to take the little bit of good that you got that I see in you. And let's just make it work. Some relationships are just for financially mechanic purposes, i.e., you pay half the rent, I pay half the rent. Or, you know, you break me off a little something for my car note and my light bill. You got those different kinds of relationship things. I admonish you before you get into whichever one it is that you desire to be into. Don't just fall into a relationship happenstance. Before you get into whichever one you decide to get into, figure out which one you want to be in. And let the other damn person know. Otherwise, you're in a relationship with yourself, honey, and that is not, you in a relationship with yourself with somebody else. That is not conducive. That is not conducive to longevity. That is not conducive to being authentic. That is not conducive to any of that. Narrow that. Figure out who you are. I think that every woman, and I'm going to use my should again, should all over yourself, should take an anger management class, should take a temperament test. No, oh God, let me tell you something. So when I counsel, one of the first things that I do in the way of assessments is a temperament test. Because I remember being back in college, and even before college, people used to say I had multiple personalities because I was very moody. And I didn't know why I was moody. That's why I say even now, sometimes I feel like a nut and sometimes I don't, honey. I didn't know I was moody. But people used to say that. And I thought, oh, I want to figure out why I am the way I am. So I took a temperament test and I figured out that my temperament was melancholy. Now that I know that my temperament is melancholy, phlegmatic blend, okay, I'll put a little link to the temperament test in the video situation. So those of you that are listening on audio, go on over to the video so you can get the link. But I wanted to know why I did the things that I did. What made me tick? What made me act the way I acted? And I took the little test and I found out so much about me, what my strengths and my weaknesses were, and what I had to continue to strengthen in order to be the best possible version of myself, and what I needed to let go. And so I kind of fell in love with the process of learning who I was. There is something great about learning who you are and being able to do that without having to care for the needs of someone else. So me learning who I was without having to run the bath water for the kids or cook dinner for the husband or any of those things. Knowing who I am, knowing how to manage my emotions, hence the anger management bit, so I can know what to do with those emotions. Emotional intelligence is a real thing. Knowing how you feel, why you feel how you feel, and being able to interact with other people in how you feel and knowing how they feel at the same time. Emotional intelligence. I think that every woman should learn that. Every woman should learn how to control her damn temper. Because, and we've all heard of it, the angry Black woman syndrome. We're just angry because there's so many things that we don't have that have been taken from us. We don't have the equal pay. We're always objectified, let me just say this right yonder. I am all about a woman expressing her rights and being able to do whatever it is that she wants at whatever moment. However, there are some things that come along with the territory, i.e., let me just say this, let me just put this pen right yonder, i.e., if you have on a low-cut blouse that exposes all of your inherited benefits, grace and mercy, you can't say grace and mercy. If you have on a blouse that does that, be prepared to be objectified. Be prepared for someone to look at grace and mercy. Just because someone looks does not mean that they have now harassed you. Or just because somebody looking and speaking and saying made you uncomfortable does not give you the right to now ruin that person's whole life and career. That's all I'm going to say. Because that's a whole nother podcast about the Me Too movement and everything that comes along with it. I think this stems from women just not knowing who the hell they are and what they want and what their purpose is. I said on one of my other podcasts, your inability to reckon with yourself does not put somebody else in the hot seat to have to walk on eggshells just because you insecure, just because you've had a battle with whatever it is. The other person doesn't know that. Neither are they responsible for knowing that. And it's not that nobody gives a fuck, because I mean, I could very well say that. Who gives a fuck? That's mean, though. It's just that you cannot try to make people give the fuck that you give. That's all. That's all. We're going to get back on that on another podcast. It just really gets under my skin when at the end of the day, women don't know who they are. They don't know what their power is. They don't know how to walk in it. We don't know how to walk in it. You know, we put so much energy and force into the things that don't matter, and the things that do matter, we give this much energy. We would rather do a whole episode, situation, blog, video, thing about John Willie Paul Jones that looked at us with a curious eye and said, we looked wonderful in that skirt. We would rather give a whole situation about John Willie Paul Jones and how he made us feel objectified and how he made us feel demoralized and inhumane. John Willie Paul Jones is a damn man. And that is what men do. They look and they speak. As long as John Willie Paul Jones didn't stick his finger up you. I'm just saying, women, let's get it together. We have so many things to get together. And you know, we do. We do. And when we decide that we're going to do it and get it done, we'll be better for it. And it's not something that let me correct that. Get it done. Get it done by meaning putting the effort into it, because it will never be done, because we should always be learning. We should always be growing. We should always be trying to figure things out about us, not about somebody else, not about old girl down the street that look kind of like us, that does the same thing that we do. So we wonder, what's she doing? Not about old dude to see if he checking for us. Not about any of that. But really, really doing it for us, like on purpose, for purpose, with purpose. That's it. That's it. Again, it may not be something popular. It may not be something that fits everybody. There are people that this resonates with. And that's that. Listen, I said once before, my voice is not for everybody. And that's good. That's all good. All good. For the people that is for, it is for. For the people that it is not for, it is not for. There are some episodes of Law and Order that I fucking hate. And I just go on past them episodes. This may be one of them episodes of the podcast that you fucking hate. Good and dandy. Go on past this one, baby. Go on back and listen to something else that maybe made you laugh a little bit more. That is all right. No love lost. Trust, no love lost. But I want to charge y'all. I want to charge you all to share this with someone, to give me some feedback about what it is that you feel when you listen to these or when you see these podcasts. How has it changed you? How has it changed the way you think? How has it shaped you? I want to know. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know what you're feeling. I want to know what it is that's going on in your life at this moment and what kind of things you want me to talk about. I've gotten some really good feedback, some people that have dropped me messages in the DM, and some people that have said, you know, these types of conversations are necessary. They're very needed. And I appreciate that. Those are the things that help me continue to grow and continue to give you good content that you can use. right? So I like to end every podcast with the affirmation: I am present, I am enough, and I benefit the world. I am present, I am enough, and I benefit the world. All right, I'll see y'all on the other side of the rainbow here. Bye-bye. Thanks for showing up and giving me your ear, honey, for another episode of Even Superwoman Needs Therapy, where we get the stuff off our chest to make us happy, to make us whole, to make us healthy. Be sure to subscribe and tell somebody else, okay? So you don't miss a nothing. Until next time, go confidently in the direction of your dreams, honey. Live the life you have imagined. Peace and love.